You mean the generic form that they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned that at the engineers meeting.
Well, they were supposed to send me it and haven't sent it to me yet.
What's your current email address?
VGT zone.
At what?
AOL. Yeah, you can send me a copy then I'll have it plugged in.
I talked to, Dan has a copy of the generic form. They were gonna go ahead and put our name, our township.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that, but that's easy to do anyhow.
Right, but they already had it all on the computer, so it was, that would have made it easier that I didn't have to put it on the computer.
Right, and they had it already, so it's, you know, it's,
Yeah, I went up there when I went up and asked them some questions, they said they have a form that they would send me. I was like, okay, and they already sent it.
well, the one we have is sufficient. I mean, it does the job, but
That's-
you know, any improvement we can do, I'm certain for that.
Yeah.
But we also have to be cautious that we're not, somebody doesn't claim that we're changing zoning.
Right.
You know, there's a person that's notorious for doing that. And there's nothing wrong with questioning that. It's fine. But we have to ask the question if changing a form is changing zoning, because that is filed with our zoning resolution.
Right.
If you go online, those forms are already with it. So it would have to be added there. People
To it as
find
well.
it. So that's one question I would have before we move forward is
Yeah.
technically what needs done so we can do this properly. So someone doesn't say that's changing zoning.
Yeah, we have to still have the board come together to incorporate it.
Right.
We just have to adopt.
Plus any unintended consequences.
Right.
I might have the greatest intentions in the world, there might be something on that form that causes some other problem.
Right.
But yeah, I've got an attachment that where you just include our name.
Okay.
Jenny should have it. I know Dan has it already. They're not in the. I guess it's probably a .doc or something. Imagine it's a .doc. But he had a print out of it because they talked about it at the engineers
It
meeting.
should be a PDF. Under PDF file.
I don't know what it is. A PDF you can't edit as easy. You're not supposed to.
Well, you can edit, but you can't. There is certain ways you have to copy it as a document and then change it.
Well, whatever's a doc has to be filed officially with Jenny.
Yeah.
And that's the one that is ours.
Yeah. More work for us. I think that's what the whole thing was.
And I don't really think that, I mean, what we have is sufficient.
That's what I thought. I said.
Unless there's a
more
form,
generated.
unless you want a more generic form where all the forms are combined and you check on it what it's for.
Right.
Because in that case, if everyone uses the same paperwork, what the ridiculous thing that happened, well, the information was there, but one person refused processing it, that maybe wouldn't happen if it was one form with everything on it.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
you know.
Patty Volland, I let you guys know that I sent an email, and it was mailed via the post office, but she shut all her emails down.
What's that?
Her junk card was sent email as well as
Okay.
the mail. She shut all her email accounts down.
Did it bounce back or something?
Yeah, it came back and let me know that she closed her accounts.
Okay.
It didn't come back as failed mail. It came back letting me know
That's
that
interesting.
these accounts are no longer
Now, you
there.
were following up with U.S. Mail, like,
Oh, I got my mail slip from the post office.
so she got the
Oh,
note.
she got it. Yeah, she's just playing. And that's why when you guys said that you sent it to her certified, she would have never signed for it if it was. She didn't sign her certified mail. So I had to go back and do the receipt mail where the post office puts it in the mailbox and indicates.
So you've sent 2 on that?
Yeah.
The same for the junk card? then?
Yeah, actually 3 included the mail, the email. Because she said email's legal. Email, there's no way in hell it's legal.
See, I don't get bounces anymore. Years ago, I don't get it. So if I send something, I don't know what happened. You know, I don't get something that says it didn't get it.
Oh, see, I
I
can't get on
don't,
there.
something strips it out. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I know I can prove I sent it, but I can't prove they got got it, or you could announce saying they didn't.
I get respond back if they don't pay, if they didn't open it.
That's why generally, if I think about it, request, hey, please give me a call back, or
Yeah.
make sure that you know, the communication you're doing is.
Yeah. But when she made that comment and said, you know, during the appeal stuff, that she won't talk to us, that email is legal, I said, okay, well, she made the statement, I got it in writing. I'm saying-
Communication is the problem.
That was the whole problem, was communication. That was wrong. Then said, you want to do that. It was wrong. It's because they're like this. And you can't do that when you're doing this job. Your buddies don't count. You know, you're as an entity. I mean, trust me, I've pissed a lot of people off that I know, including my next door neighbor. Because he had an addition to his house and he was talking to my husband, oh, well, I'll get away with it because it's agricultural. And I said, is it connected to your house? He goes, well, yeah, but you can do that. I said, no, you can't. He goes, how do you know? You don't know nothing. I said, yeah, dude, I'm your zoning inspector, idiot. You're paying for the permit.
Yeah. You gotta do the job, you can't play favorites.
Right, you can't, there's no way. And I told him that, I said, I'm sorry, but here's your choice. $1,000, and this was back when it was still 50 or $50 per permit, which would you rather pay? Oh, I'll pay the 50, yeah. The lights will all come down on the 4th. That's Epiphany. That's when Christmas is over.
Fourth.
Yeah,
Fourth of what?
January.
Today's the fifth.
I know. I wasn't gonna take it down yesterday. But now this week they're coming down. I can't do nothing.
It's on the outside.
Yeah, it's all outside. You just watch it right off. And I told Iris, I said, well, Iris, at least we can clean the windows once a year. She said, yeah, I never thought about that.
I haven't done it in a while, you can tell.
No.
Not outside especially.
Yeah, we're gonna clean them up. I got one of those squeegees to do the windows with. We're gonna leave the tube lights on, not on, but up, which you can't even see them, they're at the very top.
Tube light.
Yeah. We got the red, green, and yellow, I think, what the colors are. Tube lights. Morning.
How are you?
The ones in the
Tired.
park, did you just run those from the shower house or something?
Yeah. We had a timer on them, but I think somebody took them.
Really?
The timer that was out there, yeah. And we got one set of lights that was taken off.
Taken off.
Yeah, off the trees.
Are they gone?
Yeah, we took them, so we took them. It was the only loose that we had. The loose lights, was on the trees. The loose ones, not the bush ones. I was laughing. I said, you gotta look at it. Whether you need it, take it. Donnie was saying that we had the timer on it, so. Yeah. And they had a Elizabeth. They had a back in college party.
What's up with these chairs? Where did our regular chairs go? Rearranged in the furniture.
Somebody took them the other building at some point in time, because all these wood ones used to be over there.
I guess we got.
There's your,
They'll be soon.
I don't know, I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
I didn't, that's on the carrot. I dealt with him for it.
What do you say?
I'm gonna sit back over here.
Can you imagine having 4 little ones that close together, all boys? I just can't imagine.
Sure had more than New Year's.
All of them? What
Yeah.
was she thinking?
I don't know. I was thinking of leaving.
Is this the only copy we have of this? You have a digital copy or? What about this, Form 2 right here in the beginning? Do we have a copy of this resolution?
That is all I have.
Could you leave me a copy of that? Resolution number 2. It's probably done a day or two before she sent it.
We'll start the meeting at 7 o'clock.
We don't have a president at this time, so I'm going to request that the fiscal officer run the meeting until we have a president.
Sure, you're the acting president back.
I think that the acting president.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
First thing we need to do is the officers. Oh, yeah. Do a roll call, Dan Van Buren.
Yeah.
Van Hupp.
Here.
Jeff Chorpenning.
Here.
Okay. Do what now?
Officers.
Elect board officers. I nominate Ben Hupp for president.
I'll second.
Do a roll call vote.
Hang on a second. We had a first and a second. We don't have discussion now. I feel pretty strongly that we should have somebody at the helm that's going to follow Robert's rules of order. Somebody that's going to lead the meetings in a manner where we don't have an open forum or an open question and answer session through the whole meeting. Somebody that we can trust with honesty and integrity that isn't going to slam the table and be unfair to other board members. Somebody that's going to respect the fact that everybody has a First Amendment right. So I will be voting no on this. That's all I have on that matter.
Do a roll call vote.
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff,
No.
and Vice President.
Make a motion, Dan, and Vice President.
I'll second.
Under discussion, basically, instead of repeating myself, it's the same reason that I'll be voting no on this matter.
Everybody can say one word with something.
Roll call vote, Van Buren,
Yeah.
Hupp,
Yeah.
Jeff.
No. I'm going to ask the president at this time if we appear to have somebody recording us, but we have a policy here, if you don't mind relaying that to our visitor.
I didn't know anybody was recording.
Yeah, this gentleman is recording. We have a policy, you're certainly allowed to record at this public meeting, but we request that you be in the designated area if you can move over there. You're welcome to record. We just have a policy where you have to do it in this area.
Okay.
He's probably doing that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move on to number 2. Set the meeting nights and times. I'd like to make a motion we keep the meetings nights and times, say the last Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. unless.
Did you second?
I'll second it.
Under discussion on that, we have a lot of residents that are senior citizens. And especially this time of year, it could start pretty quick. I'd like to entertain the possibility of bumping it down to 6:30, just to give us a little more time for other people to deal.
That would not be convenient for me.
7's fine.
Do a roll call vote, Vanburen,
Yeah.
Hupp,
Yes.
Chorpenning.
Yes.
Number 3, code of conduct.
Time is the meeting.
7.
Say that.
Which I don't have a copy of the code of conduct anymore. I left that on there.
Is it posted in here at all?
I don't even think it is.
Are you distributing it to people when they come in to meetings?
No, I don't have it. So we can just cross that off. Or if you want to redo it, whatever, I don't know.
Number 4, agenda. I'm fine. I did it set up.
Well, I'm gonna move that we request the fiscal officer to actually put the agenda on the township website prior to each meeting.
Is there a second?
Number 5, employee and zoning inspector pay, mileage rate.
What is the pay right now?
Right now, which one? Employees, labor is $10 an hour, operator is $11.50. They did not receive a raise last year, but they did in 2013. In 2013, we gave them 50 cents on both.
Is that from last year's organization meeting?
This is 2013, and this is 2014. In 2014, we gave the zoning inspector a raise, but not the employees.
We brought the zoning inspector up to the employees' pay.
Right.
Is that operator pay or is it labor pay?
Labor flex pay, $10 an hour.
So we have 2 rates right now.
Yes.
$10 if they're marking themselves client labor, $11.50 if they're calling themselves an operator. And the zoning inspectors at 10. Is that right?
Yes.
I'd say just,
Did say.
no, let's give them a raise. I'd say it's worth $1.
$1.
Well, yeah. You know, after all the other
Is
temperatures.
that a motion to,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to give them $1 raise.
What are you talking about? Labor rate or
Labor.
all of it?
Yeah, go through all of it.
So labor, you're saying 11,
Yeah.
operator 10, or 12.50.
Yeah.
Are you talking zoning inspector also, or just employees?
Yeah, because the inspector raise too.
Is there a second to that motion?
So we get labor would be how much if they got the raise.
Labor would be 11. Right now they're at 10. He's saying $1, that'd be 11. And then operator would be 12.50. So right now it's 11.
So you go up to 11, right?
Right.
did we get a second on that motion?
No, we have not.
We gave them, employees got a raise at 13.
I'll second the motion for discussion purposes.
And then,
Licking Township, I guess that meant like $17, $18 an hour.
If you want to know how much, I have their year-to-date totals on how much we spent on labor, if you want to know that. The employee labor would be found under, on the second page near the bottom where it says other salaries. So we paid under year-to-date expenditures total between Dawn and Jack was $14,109.35. That's the employee. And then,
That's not the zoning inspector.
no,
Where is hers on there? Number
hers is on the front. Actually, there must be something else coming out of that fund too. Her total was $2,965
Where is it?
for the year. It's not, it comes out of compensation of board and commission members, but I must be taking something else out of there too. Because that total was
What's the
$7,000.
number? This
This,
is her stubs.
yes, but this is her last stub, and the total was $2,965.
2,965.
Yes,
And that was for January through December of 14.
yes. And Jack's, just to get a breakdown, Jack's total was 6,276, and Donnie's was 6,191.
Okay, what was the total amount of money that came in on zoning permits and fees and collected in
I
2014?
did not add that one up.
Define fees collected.
Zoning permits, zoning appeals, anything where money came in.
Did you have that up by chance?
No, but my pay isn't relevant to that. My pay is out of your
It's
general
relevant
fund.
to me because the discussion that was moved and seconded was to raise
We can pull the,
fees, and I want to know how much income is coming in before we spend more out. Was it more or
My-
less
my
than
pay still has nothing to do with that.
$2,965?
I don't know, but we have also passed made a motion that we can cover her salary out of the general fund if the fees don't cover it.
My fee is, or my question on the matter is whether the fees do cover it or not, and if not, how
I
much.
don't believe they do.
No.
If they don't, then we, especially if we entertain a raise, we need to adjust that accordingly.
It doesn't have to cover her salary.
No.
Nobody's saying it has to, I feel it should be adjusted accordingly though.
We just
Right,
raised
the
the
permits about
zoning expense
600
last year.
6 permits would have to be raised to 600 each in
we
order
want to
to.
cover, because the only income we bring in is the permits and the appeals checks, which has nothing to do with me, it has to do with the appeals board.
Well, the biggest part of that expense is the hourly wage that we're paying. I've looked at the timesheets. But we don't have that number, we just know it's well below $2,965.
Yeah,
Can you get that?
I
I'm sure
can,
you
I
run a
just
report
didn't
on it.
do it for today.
That's up about 8 to 10% on the rate. Yes, last year.
It is, but I mean, if we're trying to match other townships, but
That's what I.
Well, I'm not talking,
are
the
they,
other townships just, they just pay more.
Let me ask one of the workers, are you guys happy with what you're getting paid? I mean, I know everybody wants more money. Do you think it's,
you're fine?
Yeah, I thought it was fine, I thought every other year would be good for raises for me.
how about you? Yeah.
And that would be cost of income, you know.
Yeah, they ain't made that much money.
Let's,
But now if they get a raise, I don't raise.
there was a motion, was there a second?
Sorry.
What was the
He
motion?
seconded it.
Yeah, I second.
Discussion. Dan made a motion to give him the dollar
Across the board.
across the board on all three categories, zoning inspector, employee, and labor.
Is there a second?
Second for discussion.
Been asked to call the question, ready to vote.
Roll call, vote, Dan,
Yeah,
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff,
No.
I'll make a motion that we leave the zoning inspector pay the same this year. Let's bump the labor and the operator pay up 50 cents an hour, starting in April.
so both categories are the same, labor and
Operator.
operator, so it should be 10.50
per
and
hour.
then
Starting in April.
is there a second to the motion?
No, still on number 6, mileage rate policy.
Right.
Do you have a report on what that is this year? Does
I-
it come out?
I didn't check it. Yeah.
I move that the mileage rate be maintained at the allowance set by the state or whoever's, is that the?
IRS amounts.
I move that the mileage rate remain the same for 2015.
Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Indicated stay the same as the rate for last year or this year.
The current rate allowable by our,
By the IRS.
that's a good point. If it has changed, it needs to be adjusted to the proper amount.
Do roll call, Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yep.
Jeff.
Yes.
Move on to number 7, zoning permit fees. I know we've talked about this in the past, but our permit fees now are a lot lower than anybody else's.
They are extremely low compared to the others.
We just raised those last year. The current permit for new builds is $150 and additions is $100.
Appeals,
As appeals is $125, isn't it?
yeah.
I don't have that one. I don't know why that's on.
I've never checked for it. What do you know? What are some of the other?
Most of them are over 200. We are the lowest in Licking County. But if we want to meet my pay, we gotta raise them about 600. Because I don't do just permits, which I guess people tend to forget that the zoning inspector has an entire book sheet zoned by, and there's more than just permits.
Money's got to come from somewhere.
That's where our tax dollars goes.
You didn't say it for sure.
Because all the permits you have to get to do anything. County and everything else, you got so much money you got to put in permits.
I move that the fees for zoning appeals remain the same as what's currently in place.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yep.
Jeff.
Yes, I'm going to ask the president who blew by and if he can back up to number 2 on meetings, night and time. We set the regular meeting, but for quite some time now, I've asked the fiscal officer to, and I understand she's possibly searching for it, the copy of the legal notice where these junk car meetings are advertised. I haven't seen where they were ever advertised except for this last one that we had. So I'm going to move that we discontinue the junk car meetings completely. That business can be handled in our regular business meeting very easily. We are paying our zoning inspector basically to come to another meeting that's really has sort of no purpose.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Is there a second to the motion?
Without a second to that motion, what is the board's pleasure on how to proceed with that, seeing that to this meet, all these meetings are possibly not even been legal? I think you might want to,
In response to that, I make a motion that the board hold public junk car hearings on the second Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock here at the township meeting hall. Unless otherwise stated in the previous month's business meeting.
Is there a second to the
I'll
motion?
second.
okay, under discussion on that, instead of discussion, I'll just move to amend the motion. That will be advertised as legally required.
You just made a motion to have every Tuesday of every month, didn't
He
you?
said, yeah, I don't want
Is the township meeting announced every month via mail, newspaper?
Nobody's-
So you
nobody's-
made a motion for this to be an annual for continuous, but it just be posted one time?
Yep.
I'm not saying it should be posted every month. My amendment to the motion is that it will be advertised legally. And just to remind the president, if my amendment to the motion doesn't get a second, then we go back to the original motion.
Is there a second to this amendment? I can run an ad when I have to run an ad to say when our regular meetings are going to be.
That would be considered
I
a
can-
regular meeting.
Add that in the ad. So
Yeah.
it would be
to. And
one.
no cost.
Well,
By
just,
words.
It's by words, so it's gonna cost a little bit extra, yes, but, I mean, that would cover us for the year.
If you
Yes.
don't do that, then I guess you're going to consider it a special meeting. And if you consider it a special meeting, then you, by law, have to advertise it every time you're going to do it.
I just advertise it.
That's why I should do it one time.
So you're seconding the motion then?
Did you say yes? You're seconding, are you seconding the amendment to his motion?
Just advertise.
So you don't want to advertise legally. They were back to the original motion, Mr. President.
Roll call vote, Dan.
Could you please read the original motion as it states without the
Ben
amendment?
made a motion to have junk car meeting the second Tuesday of every month. Unless otherwise noted.
At what time?
7.
Second Tuesday every month, 7 p.m. Unless otherwise stated. Previous month's business meeting.
Dan,
Please,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just for clarification, I want to know exactly what the motion's going to read for the record.
Ben made a motion to have a junk car meeting the second Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. unless otherwise noted at the regular business meeting. Dan seconded the motion. Roll
Thank
call
you.
vote. Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff.
No.
If you feel that appropriate, Debbie, to advertise for that, do that.
Well, I would recommend that you follow the law. That's very appropriate.
I did not look at the zoning officials list. I know that we've had some,
Before we move on, what is the status of that inquiry I asked for? Do I need to contact an advocate at this point to get a copy of ads that, to find out whether they were or were not placed in the junk car meetings? I'm asking Mrs. Duval, where are we on the research?
they were not all advertised.
Were any of them advertised?
Yes, they were.
Okay, what's the problem with getting, don't they send you a copy of each one?
Yes,
Okay, what do you need to provide me with that record?
I will provide it.
Move on.
I have not also, I haven't run the ad for the opening for the zoning appeals board. I was going to run that and have people attend the meeting, the regular business meeting.
This one. Yeah.
Yes,
Did you want an updated motion or something?
No.
Or verbiage?
no,
Because I did see the one for today's meeting, at least it wasn't in there. When do you expect to be running that?
sometime between now and the meeting.
Just wondering how much time the public will have between now and the meeting. Is it gonna be like day before the meeting? How much time will they
It'll
have
be
to
a
get?
couple of weeks. I'll probably have them run it this week, next weekend. I'll get it in this week and then it'll be in there this week.
So how are you gonna handle that? Are you gonna request that they contact the board?
I was going to request I was going to put in the ad, the legal notice, either attend the meeting or contact me.
So anybody that's interested that observes the meeting, however, they need to contact you or come to the next meeting. That's what the verbiage would say.
Yes,
And that'll be out sometime. Is it gonna be at least a week before the meeting?
I said I'll put it in this weekend
This weekend?
or before. I'll email them tonight or tomorrow, which means it will either be
just run that one time.
Yes.
Okay, move on.
I don't know if I had inventory updates on there. I don't.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's not on, yeah, it is, number 10.
We skipped number 8.
We're not to 10 yet.
Oh, we did skip number 8.
Number 8, trustees pay salary or hourly. We've always got salary.
Well, technically, from the way I've always understood that, that motion would have needed made prior to this meeting. If it was going to be changed or not. Because you have to look at the potential intern changes and that sort of thing.
Make a motion that we keep trustee pay salary rates.
I'll second it.
Like I say, I believe that should have been done last month if it was going to be done. So I'm not going to participate in the vote that it was really after the fact.
That's great.
Roll call. Ben?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jeff?
Present.
Number 9, zoning officials, zoning commission, field board. Just what about that, there's no names. What about that? See if we get any interest. I'm not sure, I don't think who's that this year.
I need to look at it again.
Did you look on that to see if there was an alternate position on the
I
zoning?
have not looked at it.
So if we get any interest, maybe we'll do that. See
Is it no longer posted
No, I
anywhere?
gave that to Dave, so that he could call board members.
Was it with the one you had, correct?
Yes. Except we still have that.
Have you heard from him on that?
No, we should not. Actually, I suggested if you wanted to wait until after we have the meeting to see
Today's
if we get
meeting?
the monthly meeting to see if we get any more people to put on his board. So that he can have a full board before he votes. Or before they elect officers.
Now, since we're talking about that, have you received a public record of that recording, or do you think it was destroyed at this point? And have they provided any kind of at least draft minutes of their hearing?
I have not received anything, and there was no recording. I don't know what happened to it, but once I got the recorder, there was nothing on it.
So how are meeting minutes going to be handled that we're not?
You'll have to
Produced.
discuss that with the chair of the appeals board, or the former chair of the appeals board.
So you don't anticipate until after the next meeting? If they do set a meeting, would you please notify me of the date?
It will
I
also
try to
be in
catch the paper,
newspaper.
but doesn't mean I always see it. If you like those junk car meetings, if I've been in there, I just didn't see it.
Number 10, inventory updates.
Under that, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and start out because I got a little to say on it. I've pointed out to this board for several years, 06 to 09. We were not in compliance when I came into office. The ORC reference is 505.04 on that. I can read it, I wrote it down if you need it. Of course, you can look it up. I've read it before. Anyway, the 2 years I wasn't in office, the board failed to do that in accordance with the ORC. When I came back into office, I've done it for the last 3 years. I'm going to notify the board right now. It just so happens I have some business that takes me out of the township on the 12th of January. And according to the ORC, that is the day it is to be done. So this year, you two will have to handle that. I've done it single-handedly the last 3 years. The fiscal officer has the spreadsheet that I provided her each year. So 90% of that should be done for you, but it does need done on the 12th. So give you fair notice that the two of you will have to handle it this year.
It's due by the 12th, I'll make a motion.
It's not due by the 12th. Well, actually it is. It has to be done on the 12th and submitted to the engineer and to the fiscal officer.
Well, I'll make a motion that we have Jeff Chorpenning go ahead and do all the inventory updates, go through and check all the current inventory that we have before January 12th and get that submitted to the proper places that it needs submitted to.
Second.
Okay, under discussion on that, I've already outlined to you the day that it's supposed to be done. I'll read that to you for your clarification again if you forget or haven't read it or don't understand or whatever. 505.04, the Board of Township Trustees shall make an inventory on the second Monday of January. It's not on the first Monday or the day before, or by motion by somebody else to do it a different time. Each year of all the materials, machinery, tools, and other township supplies in its possession. The inventory shall be a public record, shall be made in duplicate, one copy of which will be filed with the fiscal officer of the board, and one copy with the county engineer. And the dates on that code say 10/1/1953 and 12/20/2005. So there you go, Dan. That clarifies why I don't think it's appropriate to vote on this motion that was made by that copy.
Motion or second, say vote.
Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Present?
Make it a little easier for you. I can't recall anything big that we
I
purchased.
know we haven't bought anything this year.
Anything major.
Major. We bought, last year, we got the plow and the bush hog. We didn't buy nothing this year.
But if you feel
The whole
necessary,
year.
nuts and bolts, Jeff.
It doesn't talk about what's major and what's minor. It says all material, machinery, and tools. That would include things like the desk, it would include things like that she brought over, apparently maybe disposed of. I read the code.
Didn't buy a desk, she just brought the desk over, put it in the community building.
We'll move on.
And then it needs to be on inventory and remain on inventory.
It was on inventory.
Is it? I don't know. But like I said, I've already done 95% of the work for you. The spreadsheet's there. You need to physically check it home and how to get it out.
When you complete that by the 12th, that also like a copy of it, so you can.
The fiscal officer has a copy of what I just discussed. I've already stated such.
When you complete the new inventory update, I'd like a copy of it, so. I'm gonna move on, number 11.
Okay, we're gonna move on because you're gonna
Excuse me.
change the law.
I'm the president, we're on the meeting.
But you don't have the authority to change the
I didn't
ORC.
say I did.
Yeah, well, you
Okay.
just tried to.
Change the RC, didn't change the RC.
Sure.
Absolutely, I didn't make a motion to change, hire a vice
That's not,
president by any means.
it's not in compliance with the
Okay.
law.
You have to have it done prior to, is what he said.
Well, like I said, it's done 95, it's pretty much ready
They
for
voted
you.
for you to do it.
Why are you interjecting here?
Because it's an open meeting.
No, it's not an open
It
meeting.
is when I'm part of
It's
the
a public
zoning and
meeting, it's
everything.
not an open meeting.
We're not waiting to the end to
It's
make
not open
statements.
discussion for the, are you being
Sorry.
paid, are you being paid to sit here for your input?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I'm here to do it for zoning. Was I not discussing zoning? Then I'm paid.
We're gonna move on.
Inventory has
We're
nothing
gonna
to do
move
with
on.
zoning.
Okay?
That's enough.
So
We're
are
gonna move on,
are
Mr.
you-
Chorpenning.
I ask a question as valid, are you being paid to sit here
Then,
today?
in reference to the inventory, how come nobody's come to my house to inventory what I have sitting at my house?
Mr. Chorpenning's in charge of that this year, he will.
He'll get in contact with me.
in the-
Since I've been doing this so many years, nobody's ever asked what I have.
Oh, certainly.
Okay.
Certainly I have.
Okay. No, you
I
haven't.
certainly have. and
You
I-
have not.
I-
Show it to me in writing. You
Take-
have not.
Take a look.
I don't have to
Public
take a look.
record.
You
This-
haven't contacted me.
This is not public argument time that we're paying you
No,
for.
I'm talking zoning inventory.
Then
You
why
see
are
what
you-
we're
then
doing
why are you
here?
feeding?
Why are you
No, I'm not talking to you no more. I talked to the president.
But-
Nobody's contacted me
Okay.
about what I have.
End of
I'm done.
discussion.
Is that on record?
The
Jay?
spreadsheet
Thank you.
shows what I know that you have.
You been in
There's
my
one
house?
item that I,
You been in my house?
no, I haven't been.
Then you don't know what I got if you don't contact me.
You
Thank
have a
you.
responsibility
Okay.
to this township to let us know what you have that's township property. And I would suggest that you provide that to the board immediately.
Not till you call me. You're in charge of the inventory.
No, this is a public meeting.
Not until you.
Okay,
You
we're
don't
gonna
need
move
me to
on.
sit here.
We're gonna
I am
move
informing
on.
you right now that you need to provide
Not
that to the
listening.
township.
I am.
And I suggest you take Mr. Hedges' advice there and zip it.
Why don't you zip it?
Because I am at the table.
Do you understand that we're gonna move on?
Are you gonna pound the table again?
No, do you understand that we're gonna move on?
I understand that this lady has no point in interjecting.
Hey, do you have any understanding what he said? We're gonna move on.
I have a
Any
very clear
understanding.
understanding.
Okay.
Very clear. Does that answer?
Comprehend it, we're gonna move on, okay?
Do you
All right.
understand that I'm an equal member of this board? Do you understand that you can't shut down my voice?
Yeah, we figured that out.
Yeah? Yeah, you held a meeting, you had the press come down, and you sat here. Why didn't you invite me to that meeting? You sat here while my First Amendment rights were being violated, and you said, I don't see nothing. And you think
He's
that's
talking
ethical?
about when he called the police and left. You know, he called the police and he left. This is when he's talking about, and the news media was called, and so people were called from the news media and asked to meet here. It wasn't a meeting because two trustees weren't in the building at the same time. So,
Really?
really,
I think I saw both of them
I
on
think
TV.
you're
Does
misunderstanding.
that have anything to do with our organization?
No.
It has everything to do with
No,
the
it
fact
doesn't.
that I have a voice here as well.
Well, we're gonna
And
move
you
You
were
on.
talked to
yelling.
also, and you
We're
told
gonna
him to
move
get
on.
off your property.
Obviously, you don't understand, Jeff. You can't hear. I
No,
don't know
don't tell
what
me
the
what I
problem is,
understand and
okay?
don't understand.
So we're gonna move on.
But look,
End of story. End of discussion. We're moving on.
well, before we move on, I want an answer whether the zoning inspector is being paid for her interjections about inventories.
Number 11. The resolution for advance on tax settlement.
That's just, we've done it in the past, a resolution to request that we receive, that they will give us, I forget what the percentage is, of the amount they estimate
Sure.
our tax income to be. And they give it to us early. We usually get it by the middle of February instead of waiting until towards the end of March. So it's about a month early, usually,
You have a written resolution for that, right?
yes.
Can you read that into the record, please?
Resolution to request advances against any and all taxes collected or in process of collection, on a motion by trustee Blank and a second by trustee Blank by a unanimous affirmative vote, hopefully, it was agreed to authorize fiscal officer to request advances against any and all taxes collected or in process of collection for the benefit of Bowling Green Township.
I move that the resolution be so adopted.
And I'll second it.
Roll call. Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes. I just happened to notice here, again, hate to jump off the agenda, I appreciate that you did prepare this list, but under meetings, I've also in the past asked for copies of records and retentions meetings. Again, maybe I missed to add the records and retention meeting, just for the record, people don't know, is made up of the fiscal officer and the president of the board for that year. Did you hold a records and retentions meeting for 2014? If not, why didn't you?
no, there was not one.
So you didn't do it in
We did one in 13.
12. You did do it in 13, you didn't do it in 14.
Yeah,
And what was the reason?
I just honestly forgot about it.
Okay. In 2012, you said you didn't get around to it. And now this year you're saying you forgot about it. So there wasn't one. So I didn't miss it in the paper.
No.
Thank you.
Number 12, the medical insurance.
I don't even think that needs to be on there because we've already discussed it and
One thing I do want to discuss about that real quick is, I know it's not cheap, but we need to try to find another way to do something where it can be cheaper. I don't know what the options are there, you know, we can talk to them and see. Anything that
We did have a minor reduction this year, if I recall, when we went with the other.
it still costs us a lot of money.
But again, it relates very similar to back up on number 8, trustee pay salary and hourly. You have to consider the law on interim changes. But that doesn't mean that we can't reduce the cost in some manner, because I believe it is lower than it would have been if we wouldn't have taken Megan's lead on that. So I don't know that there's any motion that can be made other than,
When we
I
speak
can-
with
I
them,
can
we're
move
trying to
it.
see what other options that we have.
I can,
I don't know.
generally she comes in annually, and she comes in, we can ask her for any guidance on that, and then take appropriate action if we want to bid it out or something, or what we can do. Is she gonna come in this year?
I don't know, because we just renewed, or since we just made that change in October.
I'm sure she will.
A lot of times she's been either at the organizational meeting, or maybe it's a January meeting.
Usually she comes, our renewal was like March something, so that is why she came at the beginning of the year, but,
So you don't know if
I'm not certain that she can, but I can request that she.
she hasn't contacted you or anything?
No.
Number 13,
Did we just do we did that already, didn't we?
No.
Oh, no, this is different, okay.
And that's just, I can't move money from the general fund to the road and bridge fund. But what I'm requesting is permission to move money within the fund if there is, like if we need to put more money into the operating supplies, then I just transfer it from one fund to, or one account to the other account within the fund.
I'll read it. Permission for fiscal officer to transfer money between accounts within a fund whenever needed.
In a sense, aren't basically what you're saying, to transfer money within the general fund, isn't that what it really is? What do you mean by
Or-
accounts within a fund? That's what I need clarification on.
Like, if I need to transfer money from, say we had more money than I expected in travel and meeting expenses, then I would take it out of supplies and materials and put it in travel and meeting expenses.
But you're saying
Something like that.
they're within the same fund?
Yes, it's within the same fund. I can't transfer money from one, I can with a specific motion, but it's a lot more involved.
It just requires a motion in order to do it the other way.
And that's why it's on the agenda.
What I'm saying is all that it would require, if you need to do that, is a trustee vote prior to you doing it, right? Would there be a reason not to do it that way? Just so we could overlook it and...
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and allow the fiscal officer to transfer money between accounts within a fund whenever needed.
No, I'll second it.
Okay, I guess we'll continue with discussion since it's official now. Could you answer that question? Is there a reason why it wouldn't work to bring to the board and us have?
Well, since I pay the bills before the meeting, if I'm paying the bills and I realize that I need to transfer money from one account to another, do you want me to not pay that bill if I don't?
Well,
Don't do that.
Proper
We'll have a
amount.
late charge, don't do that.
Are you sure that you didn't misspeak when you say pay the bills? You mean cut the checks?
Same thing.
Okay, you're not paying bills without the board's.
I'm
Just
making out the
clarifying
checks.
for you,
I'm
so-
making out the checks to pay the bills. If I'm making out a check and the account doesn't have enough money in it, do you want me to wait and not make that check out?
Well, can't you be proactive and bring it to the board and
Sometimes
prior
that
to that
doesn't,
deadline?
it doesn't always
But
happen.
then we'd have to approve that, and then you'd have to make a check, then you'd have to bring it to the next month's
Yes.
meeting for us to sign.
It doesn't happen very frequently, but
So you got,
it just, so that I can, normally, mostly towards the end of the year, if we're
Okay.
running low.
But you
on
could
account,
certainly do it if you had the board's,
Do we get audited, Jen?
Yes, every 2 years, actually, every year gets audited,
That's all I
every
need to
other
know,
year.
Yes.
well,
Do roll
my
call
question
vote.
has nothing to do with audits, it's just about,
I didn't say it did, I just asked.
well, I'm just clarifying, it doesn't have anything to do with audits.
Roll call vote, Dan?
Yeah.
The vote is what, the words that you have in number 13?
Yes.
Okay.
Ben?
Yes.
Jeff?
Now, this is what motion you wanted to sign, this is
That one was already passed. I just
Okay.
need a signature so I can send that.
Well, it says unanimous affirmative vote.
Is he trying or does he really act like this?
Okay, this is for number,
That's it, right?
That's it.
which
I have a
one?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I have a question.
Oh,
Wait a
That's
minute.
number 11.
Number 11, this is for resolution for advancement of tax settlement.
Wait a question, I'm going to take a vote.
Okay, my question is,
Just for clarification, is this public comment time for
I
anybody?
just said we have a question, so I'm gonna take a question, okay?
Are you gonna take questions from anybody or just her?
There's not too many people here, but yes, if somebody has a question, we can do our best to answer them. As a board, as a whole, okay?
That means I'll be able to have input if I like?
Sure.
You're not gonna shut me out?
You seem to jabber a lot the whole meeting. Good.
during the last township meeting and prior to other meetings, this has occurred, where family members have been brought up at your table just so that one of the other trustees get aroused and upset. Is there any way you could stop having personal issues brought to the table, as in your mommy? I don't think that's appropriate, it should never be brought to the table. And I know that when you make a motion, it really doesn't matter because Mr. Chorpenning doesn't follow the motions, only unless he feels he should. Even if they're legal, he doesn't do it. Is there any way that you can make it in the books that you're not supposed to bring up or harass each other under family member names or family members or children or anything of this nature? Because what took place last meeting was wrong. It was extremely disrespectful and dead wrong. All he wanted to do was get a go. He wanted to try to get the other trustees upset, which worked. So he disrupted the meeting itself, but he feels everybody else disrupts.
Are we paying you for this too?
no,
Yes, you're paying me for sitting here today. I don't get paid for the minute I question something. I'm here as a zoning inspector because there's zoning crap on here,
Okay.
okay?
I'm gonna go ahead and
If
move
you
a motion
don't
right
want-
now.
No,
I'll accept
wait a
this.
minute, did you not let me ask the question? I didn't get a response
That's
yet.
fine, I've got a motion to
Because I'm
move,
not
Mr.
talking to
President,
him,
as soon
I
as
was
she's
talking
done.
to the other trustees, because this is about him.
I thought you were
He's
talking to
only-
the board.
I'm
Aren't you
talking-
addressing the board?
No, I'm talking to Ben Hupp
Okay.
right now
Okay.
and Dan Vanburen because the issue is about you. So I don't want your response on it. You're the one that
Are
disturbed
you running the meeting now?
You're the one that disturbed the meeting last
I
time.
think you're disturbing
Did
this
I not
meeting.
ask to talk and he's doing this?
She had
Okay.
asked to
Make
talk.
sure it's on record about this.
Oh, it's on record. Don't
Yes,
worry.
that you harass people. That
It's
you
your side.
intentionally get people going for no reason. You interrupt every time somebody tries to talk to. So don't go there. And we see what you have here, it's not a problem. Okay?
Is there anything that the board can do?
I'm not worried, and if you guys would like my information, I'm more than happy to give it to you. It's all on record and the internet. Just let me know. You want my information, you got it.
If, is there anything that I'm aware of that we can do? No, there's not.
there's nothing we can do.
I do
What
have
about
a
talking to the
suggestion.
prosecuting attorney?
I do have a suggestion. I am a member of this board and I
I'm
have
not
input.
talking to you. Again,
The fact of the matter is, there
Can
is
we
a
talk to
simple
prosecuting
resolution
attorney?
that could alleviate a lot of the problems,
because that
especially
was wrong.
paying somebody to sit and run their mouth during a meeting.
You're right.
I
That's what
move,
they pay you to do, sit here and
I
run your mouth.
move that on the agenda, the first item of business be the zoning inspector report. She can come in here, she
No, it
can
doesn't
pay,
work that way. If
then
I
she can
come
go
here,
on her
I
way.
stay here, I get paid for coming here. And the whole meeting.
It resolves this potential conflict
It
we have
resolves your issue towards me.
of you oscillating between being paid and being a person that is questioning and a person that's constantly giving input.
I ask you a question, Mr. Chorpenning. What was the first thing you said to me during my interview for this job? Do you remember?
I'll remind the board,
Do
this
you
is not
really
a
think
question
you can do
answer
it?
session. This is
You
not a
can do it.
question answer session.
Sure, does she?
But it is. I
She has
asked
a
you a question. Can you answer me? What was the first question you asked me when I was interviewed for this job?
It's totally irrelevant.
No, it's not irrelevant. It shows what your issue is towards me.
It's
First
irrelevant.
question, make this noted. What does your husband feel about you doing this job? Second
I
question.
totally disagree
Second
with that.
question. What are you going to do with
recollection.
your kids? Dan, were you at the meeting?
Yep.
What did he say to me? Thank you.
Show me the public
That is your
record.
issue.
Show me the public
Don't
record
have to
on
show
that.
me nothing.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Show me the public record on that.
Don't have to. Thank you.
It doesn't exist because it didn't happen.
Because you
It's
did it
too
and there's
happen.
records. Call the prosecuting attorney. Thank you.
You're saying there's a public record
Didn't say it was
that
public.
states.
Talk
Oh,
to your prosecuting attorney.
For what? To get a public record?
It's not a public record. Obviously, it's in the attorney's hand, so it's not public. Thank you.
What's in the attorney's hand? A copy of
Call your attorney, prosecuting attorney.
It's just more rhetoric.
You have issues towards me.
I
as
made a
an individual.
motion.
Let's
Make
The
sure
zoning
that's on
inspector
record,
be
too.
on the agenda first
We're
at
gonna
each
move
meeting.
on. You didn't get a second, we moved on.
Okay, as long as it's in the record that I
I make a
offered a
motion to
suggestion.
adjourn.
And I
solve
want
these
to
problems.
give a response to that, why I don't feel that's appropriate, okay? How many times have we made it to public comment at the end of the meeting where somebody's had a question about zoning, okay? I don't know everything about zoning, I know you don't know everything about the zoning, okay? So we have a
Why don't
zoning
you speak
inspector.
for you, not what
No,
I know?
I'm just telling
You
you.
speak for what you know,
No,
not what I
that's
know.
what I know.
Chorpenning knows everything.
So therefore, we have our zoning inspector here to represent the township with zoning issues to answer those questions.
It should be during the agenda portion of the meeting when it's under zoning report.
Do
If
people
we
always,
put that in
do
the
people always
beginning of
come
the meeting,
in?
we're fine.
Do people always come in prior to the meeting starting, or do people come in while the meeting is in operation?
If we followed the agenda and the president actually adhered to it, we wouldn't have hardly any of these problems. Those people could still participate at the public comment section that's at the end of the meeting if that was if they had missed that section of it. And that section of it is not for question answer, open public forum the entire
See, but
time.
that's the problem. We try to work with the public, Jeff. We try to give them answers. We do our best ability to do, at least I know I give my best ability to do it.
But that's what we need.
And if somebody has a question and we can answer that and remedy the problem that night, why wouldn't we?
Not if it interrupts the meeting. Not if it is an open question
Can you
answer
ask a
through the
question?
whole thing, which it
You
has
go back to
been.
when I was hired the first couple months or so. No, actually during that, there should be record indicating that Mr. Chorpenning said he wanted me at every meeting. There should be record of that during my interview
Oh, I'm
or
not
after I
saying-
was hired. I'm talking after I was hired. Also, can you indicate in there, or I can get a legal document from prosecuting attorney, where they told me I didn't have to come to the meetings because he continuously harassed me. Okay? I have all this. There's a file sitting there about that thing of undue harassment from Jeff Chorpenning.
I think that it's been improperly suggested that I demand or harass, which is totally wrong.
Yes, you do.
I'm not saying the zoning inspector shouldn't be at the meeting. I'm saying that we move the agenda around so that we can do that first, so that we can make sure that she's not confused of what role she's playing through the duration of
I'm
the
not
meeting.
playing a role.
And
It's a job.
we shouldn't be paying for this kind of disturbance at the meeting.
Why, you won't talk to me any other time? You won't answer phone calls, you won't answer emails, you don't talk to anybody. So the only way to talk to you is now. Am I not mistaken, but I called you on the phone and left a message, I needed you to call me, I had a problem and needed your help. Did you respond to that phone call? No, you did not. From that point on, I said, I'm not talking to you at all unless it's in this room, because you want record of everything. You've never called me back.
Obviously, you have issues.
No, you have issues.
I would probably side with Barb on that. I'm gonna make a motion that we adjourn.
I already did that.
I'll second.
Okay.
Time is, what? Is that
I'm going by my clock.
8:54, you said?
That means you get a favor.
Unfortunately, this public comment was only allowed for one person. We didn't ask if the other people.
Hey, it's Ben Hupp.
Good meeting.
Nice to meet you. Ben Hupp. Nice to meet you. Where you guys from? Where you from?
Lincoln.
Lincoln, yeah. Lincoln County, Lincoln Township, Lincoln County.
When does a person come to a meeting, get paid to drive up, get paid to drive back, and sit for 5 minutes? You go through the whole thing. Would I go to Lincoln County and just go through what they say is going on with Bowling Green? That's the only time I get paid, is when they start talking about Bowling Green?
You guys can work. I'm sorry.
See you all.
Take care. Thanks, guys. Safe
Did
trip.
you guys want to sign the, so that we know you were here? No?
This says not to take it out of here. At that last meeting, I asked you for copies of the Lowe's grant and all that. What do we have to do to get a copy of this?
Can't you review it here?
Well, this says right on here, do not remove, and it says this is not the final copy. I need a copy of the final copy. You already said you'd get me the resolution
Did
number two.
I sent Patty an email.
Okay.
I also,
But did you request for this one, is that for both of them? Lowe's and this one?
I believe I did.
Okay,
If not,
that's-
I
okay.
will read my email again and make sure, but I
Okay.
believe that
I
they
just-
were both in
Because
it.
I want both, I want the final on this and what was actually submitted on the other one. And also a copy of this resolution.
I have not gotten a response from her, so I don't know
Okay.
what's going on.
If you do get one, could you relay that to me?
Yes.
Did you have the person's name that this was sent to? Maybe I can contact them to get the records.
No, don't do that.
Do you have it?
No,
You don't know who
I
it is?
will get it.
Okay. Is it in here? Where it was
It's
sent?
probably Sue. No, it isn't, because she does
This is ODNR I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't know who it is.
Is there an address in here where it was sent?
Right.
Want me to walk up? I'll take care of that. I'll look this over.
Have a good day, Jeff.